Am I the AH for say I don't care to a classmate? I am 18, am a college student. I've been going through minor depression since the start of college. I moved a state away from my family and have been stressed over classes. I have 7 classes due to my degrees if I want to graduate in 4 years. Yesterday, a classmate, let's call her Maggie, asked if I could help her with her homework because she forgot to do it. This is not like a math equation, it is a 500-word writing assignment. If it was, I would have. I said I can't because I have so much homework to do that I can't. Also, I was sick for the past 3 days, and she responded with, "You would let a woman fail a class? What happened to chivalry?" I thought she was joking, but I looked over and she looked like that Linus Tech Tips meme. And I asked, "Are you serious?" She said yes. Then I said, "I don't care." I got an email today by my English professor asking to speak to me about it Monday after the girl told my professor that I said something rude to her. And now her friend, who I've been talking to, is texting me saying I'm a dickhead for not helping. I admit I should have said it better, but ma'am, I'm sorry that I'm not gonna help you do your homework, which you didn't do. It's absurd in my opinion. Am I the AH? Am I the AH for telling a woman she shouldn't bring her aggressive dog to a coffee shop? I have been frequenting this coffee shop for months, and I love it. It's dog-friendly and there's a large open terrace where people enjoy coffee while they working on laptops, enjoy one another's company, or just sit in peace. Until, this woman started coming with her dog a few weeks ago. First of all, she lets her dog roam around. It has a leash on, but she doesn't hold it, nor does she pay attention. The dog barks loudly at any other dog that is near, and the woman either ignores it, or even worse, has the audacity to tell people to stay away or not sit near her. I've heard her say it's only small dogs, or it's only brown dogs, etc., that triggers her dog. And that he's great otherwise. Today I had enough. The only seat was across from her, so I sat down and her dog became disgruntled. Mind you, my dog doesn't bark at other dogs or show any signs of aggression or provoking of any kind. She asked if I could find somewhere else to sit because her dog would bite mine. Why in the world would you bring a dog in public regularly that has behavioral issues and a potential safety risk, and expect everyone else to cater to your issue? I tried not to cause a scene, but I lost it. I told her she's being a rude bee and is disrespectful for bringing her dog to a public establishment. Everyone else shouldn't be hindered to enjoy a wonderful environment so she can bring her unhinged dog. No wonder the dog is unhinged, she is. Anyway. I was so upset with myself for losing it that I left today, but I still want to go back. I just couldn't tolerate being near that woman today. I've expressed my concerns with the shop manager, but they haven't done anything about it. Am I the AH for telling my mom I won't let her turn me into my half-sister's dad because she's a cheater? My dad left my mom when I, 15 was 10 because my mom cheated and dad found out my half-sister, who was 2 months old at the time, wasn't his. He did a DNA test to check, by the way. My parents fought a lot about dad leaving, and when he was doing divorce stuff, he asked to be taken off my half-sister's birth certificate, and they fought in court about my dad wanting to sever ties with my half-sister. Mom wanted him to take care of both of us. He only wanted me. Dad won. My parents have 50-50 custody of me. My mom doesn't know who my half-sister's dad is. I heard her admit she cheated a lot and had one-night stands with guys she didn't even know the name of. It broke my dad because I had another sister who was stillborn when I was like 6, and dad questions whether she was his or whether he grieves for another man's kid. I heard them argue about this stuff at the time. I'd rather live with my dad. I hate my mom for destroying our family. I hate her for having a kid with someone else. But I also hate her because she tries to get me to make up for my half-sister not having a dad. She's always asking me to take more of an interest in my half-sister and to not say half and to be the male role model she needs. She also told me I could talk to dad about how unfair it is that he loved her for 2 months and then abandoned her and that he was wrong. She told me he did a DNA test on me, so maybe he would have left me too, and didn't. I think that would be wrong after 10 years, so why isn't it wrong that he did it to my half-sister? Before I left for my dad's house, Mom and I got into a fight and I told her I won't let her turn me into my half-sister's dad, because she's a cheater. Mom yelled at me and she sent me dozens of texts since Friday night, demanding I apologize and do better, and saying I'm taking marriage issues out on her and my half-sister. Am I the AH? Am I the AH for telling my parents I'm not changing my name because of their name regret? I'm 16M, my parents' youngest kid and the only kid the name based on what they liked versus what the family wanted them to name us. My siblings were all named after family members, like both my dad's and mom's families prefer. By the time they got around to having me, they were live fuck this shit and told their family they were choosing a name based on what they liked and not based on family. So they named me Sunny. Yeah, the girl version of Sunny. I don't care. I don't think Sunny is girly, because it has a U versus an O. But anyway. My parents started to regret my name when I was maybe 10? I don't remember exactly when, but I can remember being about 10 and my parents started sometimes calling me by my middle name and only stopping when I told them it was weird and I liked my first name. When I was 13, they asked me if I ever went by a nickname and I said no. Last year they said some kids change their names before graduating high school because they want something more grown up and they want to save the added expense of changing the name on their degree. I was like, oh, I guess if people want that, it makes sense. Then I said it must suck to hate your name. 6 months ago, my parents said I look like a James, nicknamed Jamie. I asked them why they thought that, and they said I just had that look. They asked what I thought of the name and I said I like Jamie, but prefer Sunny. Then they asked if I liked the name Luke and I said no. In June, they asked me if I would consider letting them change my name to something different. They said they feel like they named me as a big fuck you to their families, but felt bad that I had such an unserious name for a man. I told them I didn't want to change my name and I always loved the way they talked about finding my name. They said their feelings had changed and they felt like the name being cute and light and full of hope wasn't great for going into my adult years. They said they deeply regretted it. I told them I was glad they made the choice they did and they shouldn't stress it. But last week, they got the paperwork for a legal name change and presented me with like 3 name choices and asked me to pick. They said they really didn't want to live with the guilt. I told them I'm not changing my name because of their name regret. I told them how I feel about my name is more important now. They told me I should at least think of their feelings, and that I should consider the future and whether I'll be taken seriously. Am I the AH?